And
Starting the recording now. Perfect. All right, so let's start off with going around the table, as we normally do, and ask people what they remember from last session, beginning with Cora. Cora, what do you remember from last session?
Oh shit, my mouth is full of salad. Well,
We had salad last session?
no, my mouth.
Bustani salad.
Crane had a really impressive, not tarot, Taroka reading that he did for us. And then we told stories. And I told a really dumb story about a duck or goose or something. And I think Ento won the storytelling contest, if I remember right. And
I did.
I don't know, anybody
Yeah.
else want to go? Because I'm out, I think. I only have one screen and it has D&D Beyond on it, not my notes.
Okay. Next would be Elanil. Why don't you tell us what you
God.
remember from last session?
I definitely won the story rounds by guessing true or false to everything. So I got the loot. That is an empty notebook. Not the right one, obviously.
Uh-oh.
I pulled my notes up. I have pretty extensive notes about what cards we pulled.
Yeah, me too.
Same these, but apparently in a different notebook. Is it this one? Nope. Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to move on to Drez while you go
Thank
ahead
you.
and look for your notebook. Not catch
Thank you.
Pokemon, look for your notebook. Drez, what do you remember from last session?
We met a werewolf, and we had a card reading, and we
A
told
werewolf
stories.
assumptive.
Okay.
And we have a new raven friend that is apparently part of Elanil's flock, I guess. I don't know.
Murder.
Murder. She has a murder froze. Exactly.
Muriel is the name.
The cards we were shown were the 9 of Glyphs, the Traitor, the 5 of Swords, the Myrmidon, the 8 of Glyphs, the Bishop, the Mists, which I don't have a number for, and then the Marionette, which is an emperor drinking a goblet of wine. And I was not able to glean the meaning of those.
Nor should you, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Mesker, what do you remember from last session?
Who are you people? Why am I here?
Anything
I remember a
else?
really long reading. Very sad storytelling moment. And we played with our character tokens for a little bit with Marigold and Mesker.
Very succinct.
We were also warned about somebody who was going to show up after the reading and not to trust them.
Which we're pretty sure is the pretty girl. In my mind, anyways.
I don't trust any of them. They're gypsies.
I thought it was either her or the dude that had to leave.
Arturi. I don't think Arturi is like the bad dude.
I mean, maybe the message is we don't trust any of them.
Yeah. I think if Arturi is a bad dude, he doesn't want to be. But I mean, yeah. I found my notebook.
Okay.
I replied to our son as he called down to me.
Perfect. Okay. Does anybody remember anything else from last session?
Oh, the book that Ento won from the werewolf was a book about werewolves written by the same guy who wrote the vampire book, Rudolf van Richten.
That's correct.
Van Richten.
Who was an alias of Alanic.
Has everybody had an opportunity to read that?
I didn't know we had a chance. I didn't know we had it.
Elanil, I don't know if it was shared or not.
It was shared to me.
Okay.
And
Cora or Elanil, do one of you want to read it really quick?
I can read it so Iris can eat.
Yay! Thank you.
You're welcome. Our child is calling us again.
Okay, you
I
read
can
that, and
read
then
it while
I'll
you.
go. No, DM doesn't need to hear that. I already know what it says. Go ahead, love.
Which one is it? Ben Richton's Guide to Werewolves. There it is. I printed it out and everything because I have a little book now. Okay. Werewolves are among the most fearsome lycanthropes, bearing a curse as ancient as it is terrifying. For them, the affliction of lycanthropy transforms even the most civilized individual into a monstrous beast, warping the lines betwixt man and nature. In its humanoid form, a werewolf retains many of the characteristics of its original identity, save for certain nuances such as heightened senses, an explosive temper, and an odd preference for rare meats. Over time, subtle features that hint at their animalistic nature begin to manifest. Nevertheless, it is in their wolf and hybrid forms that the true horror of the curse is revealed. A werewolf's hybrid form is particularly terrifying, with a muscular humanoid body crowned by the head of a ravenous wolf. It is capable of wielding weapons, though its favored means of attack are its devastating claws and powerful bite. Werewolves typically abandon civilization soon after their transformation. Those who reject the curse flee in fear of harming their loved ones, whereas those who accept it fear exposure and the repercussions of their violent deeds. Out in the wild, they form packs living in cohesion with ordinary wolves and dire wolves alike. The most tragic aspect of lycanthropy is its transmission. A humanoid can contract this curse through a wound inflicted by a lycanthrope or through inheritance if one or both of its parents are lycanthropes. The cursed have two paths. They may resist the beast within or embrace it. Those who resist bear unending strain until the rising full moon triggers a compulsory and horrific transformation. Those individuals often experience bloody, haunting dreams, echoes of the carnage wrought in their madness. Some twisted souls, however, choose to accept their beastly nature. With time, they can master their abilities, calling upon the wolf's resilience and strength as they will. To do so, however, they must first perform a particular gruesome and foul act, one which I will decline to describe in these pages. One sure way to identify an afflicted individual is the presence of a perpetually raw, bloody wound, the scar of the initial curse transmission. This wound never fully heals until the curse is lifted. Beyond this mark, however, these creatures bear an extraordinary resilience. Conventional methods of harm prove ineffective in permanently subduing the werewolf. Only through the bite of silver or the chill of death's power can a werewolf be truly put to rest. A spell of removal can also cure an afflicted lycanthrope, though those who accept the beast may fight it bitterly. As for those unfortunate souls born under the curse, they are doomed to bear their affliction for life. As far as my research has shown, there exists no cure, no respite for such individuals. They are caught in an eternal struggle, forever haunted by the wolf within. And now I finally understand that one line. Anyways,
What line?
I can't because it's from last night.
Oh, okay.
So remind me, that was one of the things put up from the storytelling.
That was from Arturi.
Okay. So do we think he's a werewolf?
I do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's
I mean, he's
definitely clearly a
got
werewolf.
some shit going on. He didn't
Yeah.
have a wound or anything, did he?
Well,
Not that we saw, but
might
they
not have
make
seen
him
it.
leave camp at night.
Yeah, and he
So-
talks
It's
about he
true.
doesn't want to be here because of the danger he'll cause. So yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought there was some like Strahd shit going on when he said that.
Well, I mean, there still could be, because if you think about the story Stanimir told, like the Vistani were Strahd's initial allies.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that he has an ally that is both Vistani and werewolf. So, yeah. So he could definitely be like the one that we're not supposed to let know about any of our plans.
It could be
But-
someone else though, too.
It could be multiple people.
I think we should just be a little secretive.
It's me.
Okay.
Obviously.
I'm the problem. Yeah, we know.
It's actually Marigold. She's polymorphed as Strahd right now.
Shit. Oh, my cup's empty.
All right, perfect. So I will say that you all have a wonderful long rest. You feel refreshed. You had a good meal last night. For those of you who drank, the wine hit good. You don't have a headache. You wake up feeling recharged. Full 8 hours. There's no, for the first time in several days, with the exception of the Burgomaster's mansion, there's no watch and there's no bad dreams. So you guys all basically have a pretty refreshing respite from the horrors of Barovia, and the Vistani encampment in particular served as a pleasant foil for what you've encountered over the last several days. It's been a good break from it all. Overall, you feel welcomed here. You feel safe here. You might have some of your suspicions about sort of who's who in the zoo and what their intentions are, and whether or not there's werewolves lurking around in the woods. But by and large, there is a general feeling of sanctuary in this place. And if you were to take some time to really think about it, you'd say that it probably emanates from Madame Ava. There's a sense of security and a sense of warding that sort of exudes just from her being here. Yeah, so the night passes uneventfully. You awaken to the smell of cook fires. You can smell food being prepared. You can hear soft voices outside your tents if you guys are sleeping in tents. In general, there's a sense of calm in the camp as people sort of begin their day. In the distance, you can hear someone chopping firewood, splitting firewood. You can hear someone telling a story a little ways off. There's people moving in and out of these canvas tents, and there's that perpetual sputtering and crackling of cook fires, kind of filling the air with the smell of the beginning day. What would you like to do?
Before we really get started,
Mhm.
can you have Madame Ava say nuclear vessel for me, please?
I support this. I will.
Say
Are we
what?
supposed to be an Albert radio? It's a Star Trek joke, Drez.
Oh,
Nuclear vessel. No, I will not say that.
It's
Damn it.
from Star Trek 4,
4.
The voyage
The
home.
Voyage Home.
Yeah.
Monk has his finger up because it's the one I made him watch. Oh yes, I do. He wasn't. I made him watch that one.
It's a good one, other than the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, I mean the whole Save the Whales thing.
Yeah.
In my head, that's what it's called. Star Trek 4, Save the Whales. So are we supposed to be in Albert Rodeo right now?
Not yet. You will though.
Okay. Just checking. Yeah, so I will, I guess, head out of my tent. Probably put my tent away and maybe grab some breakfast.
How
Yeah,
long
there's-
does it take a tiny halfling to put away a tent?
It's a process.
is
less
Madame Ava
time
around? Is she mulling
think.
about?
You can see her kind of darting in and out of her tent. A few minutes ago, she had come out to pour herself a cup of coffee. There is coffee in Barovia. From a percolating sort of kettle over a fire, and she's disappeared back into her tent.
Is there like any herbal tea or anything? Can I have some like?
I'm sure if
breakfast?
you asked around, if you took a minute to ask around, you could probably find somebody that was preparing a pot of tea. Yeah. And they share it freely. It's a very hospitable, very open, sort of generous environment here. Basically, they know they have guests, and there's food for everybody.
I will be very appreciative of the tea.
So Jessica's going to go poke around Eva's tent to see if she's open to talk.
So the tent is actually open. They're like one of the flaps is unfurled and tied back, and if you were to poke your head in or kind of mull about, you would hear her voice from inside. Is there something I can do for you, Dark One?
I ask if she's got some time to talk about the cards that we saw last night.
She's holding what looks like a porcelain teacup in her hand, but it's filled with black liquid, and she sort of gestures you into the tent.
Yeah, so I walk in and ask her if she can give us any more information.
Stab her repeatedly.
A few minutes, Drezek emerges from the tent. Okay, guys, we gotta go.
Time to leave.
Is there something in particular that you're interested in knowing more? We cannot speak more of the face of the cards themselves, but perhaps you have some questions about the process or what it means to get a reading?
Sure.
So she would go on to explain that she is a seer, and that it is a long-standing position that she holds in Vistani culture. She's been around for quite some time, and it is a skill, an ability, something that she's done for many, 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 many years. And there are various ways for her to divine things about other people. She can dream about things. She can get glimpses of truths about people by looking at them. That's sort of like that natural affinity that comes to her. And then she can read the cards, the Taraka cards. And through training and having this skill passed down from her and from other sources as well, which she doesn't really get into, she is able to do readings, card readings, and tell fortunes. And everyone is entitled to a fortune. One of her responsibilities, one of her obligations, in fact, is not to deprive anyone who asks for it. It's something that everyone has a right to access. And in the case of your reading, the reading that your party received, there was 5 cards, and each of those cards would have given you some insight into how you would be assisted while you travel through Barovia, and your ultimate goal to survive this dark place, maybe perhaps find a way out, and in so doing rid the land of the vampire Strahd. Those 5 cards point in certain directions that could assist you in achieving those goals.
So those 5 cards are allies, not necessarily enemies.
They're all 5 cards are meant to assist you in some capacity. Yeah.
Okay.
So they could be like a warning or something.
It could be a warning. It could be the location of something. It could be the existence of something. It could be where something might occur at a certain like time and place when you need to achieve or accomplish something. Sort of like it's those last little missing puzzles, and you might not see the puzzle right now. And she would say this in a cryptic sort of way. You might not see the puzzle in front of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You might not know what that puzzle looks like, but I've given you some pieces to that puzzle. And as you start piecing these puzzle pieces together and seeing a bigger picture, the things that I gave you last night are going to assist you in finishing things.
And so, is anybody else with me, or did anybody else come into the tent, or am I alone?
Did you sneak off, or was it like pretty clear that you?
I mean, it was kind of as we're mowing around. I just noticed her tent was open and walked in.
It's up to you guys. If you guys want to wander in, you can wander in at the beginning of this conversation. That's fine with Drez.
Yeah, I mean, I
Probably be
wasn't.
listening by the tent wall, like not entering the tent, but within earshot.
I'm
Yeah,
off
I'd probably
somewhere
be sitting
munching on
somewhere-
hardtack and making sure my horse is getting fed.
I'd probably
Okay.
be drinking my tea, chatting with somebody.
Okay, so Elanil and Drez then are privy to what's going
Okay.
on.
So I lean in towards Madame Eva and hand her the note from Strahd and say, "What do you make of this?"
And so she would very carefully, very gingerly put the teacup down, grab a nearby handkerchief, and dab her lips, and then fold the handkerchief, and very gingerly place it down on the table in front of her. And then she would take the note and unfold it. And there's a quiet moment while she reads it, and then hands it back to you. And she says, with sort of like a knowing smile, I think perhaps you already know what it means.
I shrug and say, I don't. I truly don't.
Our enemy is a strong one, a powerful one, with access to ancient magic, and there are many tools at his disposal. And I'm not going to say that what is in the note is false, but there may be truth to it, but not the truth that perhaps you might be expecting.
I nod with thanks, fold the note up, and excuse myself from the tent.
She nods her head and lifts her teacup back up and continues to drink her coffee. Is there anything else you guys want to do in the camp before we move on?
Nope.
So as you are packing and preparing your things, Irina is packing her bag, and the halfling is very expertly rolling up her tent, and you guys are preparing your things. The Vistani would be presenting you with some food items for the day's travel, some cheeses wrapped in parchment, and some like salted meats, and some nuts and seeds, things like that. And at the end of this, Madame Ava emerges from her tent and she walks up to your grouped up sort of party, and she smiles and she reaches into her sleeve and she pulls out a small black velvet pouch, and she says, sort of in a silent, sort of quiet voice, within this pouch is 10 gold pieces. And I would ask if perhaps you could do me a favor when you arrive in Vallaki.
What's the favor?
My great-grandniece, Arabelle, lives in the Vistani Encampment to the southwest of the city, and in 2 days' time it will be her 10th name day. And I would ask that if you could you please go to Blinsky Toys within the city and purchase a toy for my dear Arabelle. You can keep the change. And she holds out the pouch to the group of you.
What kind of toys does your niece like?
She is a fond purveyor of Blinsky Toys, and she has many dolls that they produce there. Any of them, I'm sure, would make her very happy. They are all unique. Every doll is unique. She's standing there holding this pouch out, waiting for someone to take it.
I guess I'll take the gold and say I'll do what I can.
You may enjoy speaking with Arabelle, as she is a most interesting child. But please, if you could, make sure that she gets it before the end of her 10th name day. She holds up 2 fingers. 2 days' time.
So just because I don't remember, how long did we think it was going to take us to get to Vallaki?
You'll be there by the end of the day.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like longer than that.
Yeah, I may have given you the wrong timeline at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the campaign. I remember I may have said that it may take you 3 or 4 days. It won't. It'll take you by the end of the day. It's about 5 hours from Barovia, the village.
So get it to her 2 days, like
before the end of 2 days.
Including today, or not including today?
It's in 2 days' time, so probably not the end of day tomorrow, but the end of day the next day.
Okay.
And I will post her name in the Curse of Strahd session notes. And where you're going. The road to Vallaki is perilous, but not long. Do not tarry. Be sure you get where you need to go before the sun falls, but you should have plenty of time to make the journey. You are all young and healthy. And she tucks her hands in her sleeves and turns and walks back to her tent.
And that's Arabelle's her niece?
Her great-grandniece.
This is Madame Ava that gave us the pouch?
That's correct.
Got it.
10 gold pieces.
Okay.
Little side quest for you.
Put it in
Got
my
it.
inventory.
So I guess we better get moving.
There's a link for Owlbear Radio in the session notes.
Trying to imagine how this world is set up. There must be a town every 5 miles.
I like that we've all just like started like keep calling it Owlbear Radio.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
Like I know that's not what it's called, but it kind of doesn't matter at this point. That's what it's called now.
And wow, I'm seeing the map. Is this the first time we've used this map?
It is. I'm
Nice.
taking inspiration from. I'm turning those insects off because that'll fucking drive me crazy.
You're turning what?
The insects off
Uh,
if I can find them.
So you liked the travel map then?
I loved your travel map execution. I thought that was fantastic. So I'm stealing the idea of it.
I was like
Book
worried
of
it was
Thief.
over the top. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
Okay, so you are on the road here now. It is early in the morning, probably 8 or 9 o'clock before you manage to get yourself fed and packed up and ready to go. The road is south back to the crossroads in order to get to Vallaki.
So we go back here?
That's correct.
Okay. I thought there was a path like
There is a path,
Vallaki is
but it terminates at the falls here. It doesn't really meet up back with the roads.
okay.
Vallaki is the town to the northwest.
That's correct. All the way up here would be Vallaki.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go
We're off.
to see the wizard.
So you make your way. In about 30 to 40 minutes, you are back at the crossroads. And when you arrive at the crossroads, you hear it before you see it. The sound of galloping hooves. Through the mist to the east comes a skeletal horse and rider. The rider is wearing torn, muddy clothes raked with claw marks. Passive perception. Elanil, Drezek, and Cora, you both make this roll. You recognize the clothing on this corpse as being the same clothing that was on that initial corpse that you located when you arrived in Barovia several days ago. That carried the note that the burgomaster had on him. The skeletal rider holds up a rusted lantern that sheds no light. It pauses, pulling at the reins of its horse, slowly turning its skull in sort of an agonizingly slow movement to look at the party. It's probably about 15 to 25 meters away, before wordlessly gesturing the dead mount on, kicking at the steed's fleshless flanks as it takes off into the thick woods to the south. There is a sense of resigned desperation about the rider.
And it's
You
just
said that it's wearing the same clothes. Is it like a uniform or is it like the same body?
So it's skeletal now. It's not. It doesn't have any flesh on it. It's not a human body, but it is wearing the same. Like this only happened like 3 days ago. It's wearing the same commoner clothes that you recall being on
Okay.
that body.
I
So
couldn't
it's the
remember if
dude.
it like had a uniform or something and it was just the same.
No, he did not have a uniform. It was the same just outfit that he was wearing. Same rake, and I think probably why you recognize it is the damage that was to the body. Like there was raked claw marks, and it was torn and muddy. And maybe there's a little bit of like trauma after having arrived in Barovia for the first time, and you see this dead body kind of in the underbrush. You remember it distinctly, and this is this same outfit, potentially the
I
same
don't have
person.
a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Not Mesker, yeah. You're not part of this conversation.
There's no dead baby. There's no babies there, so.
No babies.
Yeah, so I mean, do we all recognize that it's probably the messenger now and it's risen?
Could be a conclusion that you're making, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say to the party, I said, I think it's the messenger. Just a little thinner than he was before.
He looks a little worse for the wear. But I guess he's
Irish,
not a
you're really
corpse
quiet.
anymore.
Is it, or is it just me?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not on my normal headset. Like I'm on a laptop with a different headset. So
Okay.
if
I
it's
turned-
shit gets weird,
I
let me
turned you.
know.
I turned
Oh.
you.
Yeah, I turned you all the way up. You're all the way turned up. Just a quick phrase. So
I'll
what's
make
this?
sure
Is
I
this
start
thing
like
looking at
screaming
us
now.
threateningly, or is he just looking at us? What's it doing?
I mean, he's
It's
not
like-
very threatening because he rode away.
Yeah,
Oh, he
you
rode
kinda-
away.
The sense that you get from him is that he just looked at you, and like a deer might raise its head and look at a noise in the woods before kind of gallivanting away. It looks like it's trying to do something. Like you get a sense of desperation, almost like it's looking for something. Doesn't really care about you. Didn't really take any extra time to really assess you. It took note of you and then disappeared to the south.
The
Into
south was
deep-
where we fought, correct? When we were at the crossroads before, or was that further up the road, back by the
No,
bridge?
that was back by the bridge. That would have been back here
Okay.
where you fought that zombie.
Okay.
And this
It
skeletal
was just
rider
the
is
gallows.
yeah, this skeletal rider is heading in this direction here. Yeah, and that's you're right. This is the gallows right here. Gallows,
Okay.
and then you would have met Strahd somewhere in here.
Cora will kind of look around and say, "What do you guys want to do? Should we ignore it or should we get involved?"
So we're
Get
on
involved with what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're kind of in a hurry anyway. I think we move.
I think that's the right choice too.
Unless it has a doll.
I
You
mean,
did
if
not
it does,
see a
it's
doll.
probably a creepy skeletal doll. It didn't when it was still a corpse.
Not exchanging 10 gold for any doll it has.
Where did the dead horse come from, though? Where did the skeletal horse come from? It didn't
They
have that
both-
before.
Cursed.
Yeah, but it was just a dead body.
Maybe his
Oh,
dead
well.
horse was nearby.
One of the mysteries of this weird place.
You guys didn't find the horse when you started the campaign.
Shitty insight
Alright.
checks.
Ignoring, I guess, is the
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we're not going to go run him down.
So continuing on then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you leave the crossroads behind and resume your westward journey. You follow the road as it bends around, then ascends the cliff, trudging up a steep, rocky incline. So this whole section here begins to climb. There's almost like switchbacks that kind of sweep back and forth on itself. The fog is thick here, obscuring the top of the cliff overhead. The road itself grows narrow and treacherous, with loose stones and deep ruts that make it difficult to maintain your footing. Soon enough, though, the road levels out, continuing past a ruined 3-story watchtower perched atop the edge of a cliff. And it is right there. The tower's old stone walls are covered in moss and ivy, its rotten wooden door hanging off its hinges. Nearby, 2 fresh graves sit against the road. An animal's corpse seems to lie in the tall grass not far away.
I'll go take a look at the animal corpse.
As you approach the corpse, you see what looks to be like a wolf, kind of dead. It's been dead maybe for about 2 days. Crossbow bolts pepper it, and there's large puncture marks, which you believe could be made with maybe a polearm or a spear of some kind. It's dead. It's very dead.
Does the tower look like it's been lived in? Like it's occupied?
On the contrary, the tower looks absolutely destitute, decrepit, falling apart. Like just looking at it, you don't need to be an expert to know that it's very, very old, several hundred years old, with no maintenance and no upkeep that has been done on it since then. There's pieces of the tower kind of falling apart. The oak door that would lead into the first floor of the tower is actually off its hinges, at least some of the hinges, and it's kind of just hanging there and just creaking in the wind. You see pieces of big mortar and stone kind of lying around where it's been slowly kind of falling apart. You could go inside if you wanted to.
We've got a long way to go yet. I don't see a reason to go investigate at this point. Unless you guys disagree.
Yeah, I agree. If it doesn't look like it's got anything of interest.
Make a note of it on my map. We'll go on.
Wonder who dug the graves.
Would you like to take a look at the graves?
Sure, I forgot about the graves.
Yeah, I
I'm
did
not
too.
particularly interested in graves.
I'll go take a look at them.
So, Cora, you would see two fresh graves, probably only a couple days old. They are neatly laid out side by side, just probably 10 to 15 feet away from the entrance to this watchtower. So the watchtower is quite close. There are pebbles laid out on the surface of the soil for these graves that roughly approximate the look of a sunburst. And you recognize that symbol as being very near to your own church's symbol of Lathander, the Morning Lord.
Would I know, I don't know, like a prayer for the recently deceased, and I could kind of, say a quick prayer to them?
Absolutely, yeah.
I will do that. I'm trying to think, is there any sort of a role that I could make to know about, does this seem like the same burial practices? Anything I could glean, really, without digging them up or anything weird like that.
Yeah, like the most, I guess the most telling would be the fact that there's these pebbles laid out in the sunburst foundation. Obviously, whoever buried them here, either they themselves were a faithful of the Morning Lord, or the people who were buried in the graves were a faithful of the Morning Lord. That's as much as you can deduce.
Okay, fair enough. Do they seem like the grave sized for full-grown adults, or
Yes, they're not children graves. They're big graves.
or halfling graves? Although I think I'm the only halfling here, but
Yeah, they're definitely human-sized graves.
I will kind of point at that and point it out to everyone, and then say I hope they're resting peacefully. Say my little prayer.
I'm gonna pull the quarrels out of the wolf body while she's doing this.
Sure, there's six bolts you can add to your inventory.
I wonder if they died fighting the wolf. I think we move on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You continue down the winding mountain road, the jagged peaks looming ominously through the fog far above. The air grows colder as the road passes through a dark evergreen forest, and it's sort of around here. The thick canopy once more blocking out much of the sky's dim light. The only sounds that follow you are the crunching of fallen leaves and occasional rustling in the underbrush. As you curve around the edge of the mountain, the right-hand cliffs fall away, leaving a sheer drop to a forested gully below. About here. The road bends, doubling back around this ravine before plunging dramatically and winding around a smaller mountain peak. And you follow the river to the base of a canyon, at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. A great stone bridge spans the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead. And we'll switch scenes here.
That is a very relaxing sound.
It's much nicer in my ears than it was playing over the computer speakers.
Sorry about that. I was on mute the whole time. The bridge is 1,000 feet above the water.
1,000 feet overhead, yeah.
Holy shit!
So you follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of this mountain and ends before this arching bridge. Mold-encrusted stone spans a natural chasm. Gargoyles, cloaked in black moss, perch on the corners of the bridge, their frowns weather-worn. On the mountainous side of the bridge, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below. The pool feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket this valley. As you get closer, you notice what initially appears to be a motionless statue standing at the midpoint of this bridge. The figure is that of a male humanoid clad in plate mail armor. The figure's gauntleted hands rest on the pommel of its sword, the blade of which is planted firmly on the bridge's stone surface in front of him.
There are so many Monty Python jokes I can make right now, but I'm not going to make them.
You have you would only be adding to what we heard last night, because we also got to hear, I think, every single one.
So what you're saying is that Drez's idea isn't unique.
Correct. His idea is is not unique. I will give you a picture here of this gentleman.
Note that I didn't say it. I said I could.
I do appreciate that.
My rat is missing.
Your rat is... I always forget your rat. What does that say about me? I don't know.
I don't know.
There you
I
go.
don't know how you have your little portrait set up, but I have all mine like under character, and I have like the animal companions also
Yep.
under like player character.
Yeah, it's right beside you. I just purposely always omit putting it out.
Well, obviously he just needs to die again and become a raven, because that, then you
I
won't
seem-
forget
Our
the
thing,
third
apparently.
raven.
I seem to remember the ravens. I just forget your rat.
It's a lot smaller, as am I.
So the above one is the...
That's what he looks like. He's sitting in that
Oh,
picture,
okay.
but that's what he
Got it.
has the appearance of being. And he's
Okay.
completely motionless at this point, to the point where you're wondering if it's a statue or if it's actually like a person. It's just standing there, completely motionless, like lock stock, not moving.
I think Cora will kind of look around and be like, "Are you guys good if I like yell hello?" She'll say that quietly.
So, I mean, what's the distance? Is this... Oh, I see. Never mind. I see the grid.
Yeah.
I'll just knock an arrow in my longbow and nod to you so that I'm ready.
Actually, let me see if there's anything I could get ready first. Ooh, actually, wait. I'm gonna cast. What was that spell I cast on you guys last time that gave everybody the temporary hit
Aid.
points?
Aid.
And we had a long rest, right?
Yes, you would have had a long
So
rest.
all my spell slots are reset. I need to reset them. Yeah, so I will cast Aid on, I guess, the 3 of you guys, because it's good for 3 people.
We get 5 hit points, right?
Yes, choose
Good,
up
because
to
I never
3
took mine away.
creatures within range. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increased by 5 points for the duration. It lasts 8 hours. I think that spell's worth doing pretty much every day. that
Do we
think
do
will happen.
it in our temp over here?
Yep, they're
or
temp. Yep.
It's not temp.
Oh, it's not temp, so it's
No,
temporary.
No, it's raises your hit point maximum for the day. So like you can be healed back up to that.
So
amount.
you would have to go to manage. Oh no, there you go. Yeah, and then is there an override? Yeah.
There is override max hit points. I just typed in my total there.
So you have to do the math. So yeah,
Just remember that you added 5 so that like, and it lasts for I believe 8 hours. So yeah.
So while Iris is casting this spell, is there any reaction from the guy in the bridge?
It
there's
does
no
have a
react.
verbal component, so it's not like it's silent.
There's no reaction.
So it should, I'm sorry, I'm still on the sheet. Uh, it go into max HP modifier because when I put it into override max HP, it boosted my current hit points, which it shouldn't.
Yeah, it should.
You
That's
got to
right.
write in your new total.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
it'll
had
just
you.
raise your total 5.
Yep. For basically for the duration of the spell, your new maximum hit point total is 41.
Yes, I know, but I wasn't at my max HP.
You should have been with the long rest though.
Yeah, you should have been.
Okay, maybe we didn't put it in.
I didn't do the long rest. I had to do it just now because
Okay,
So take a minute there. Everybody take a minute to make sure that you've long rested and that you haven't reset your HP maximum as well. Because remember, we're taking our max.
And I'm assuming you're muted, but you would have this extra 5 hit point too.
So your total possible is 48 plus 5, so that would be 53. For you, yeah.
Crane,
and then
since we long rested and I can change my spells during a long rest.
I did the math for you.
I am gonna that I would have changed out augury to something else, and I will take a look and let you know what that is in a second.
Sure, yeah, just take 2 minutes.
Because I realized how expensive that is, and it's not worth the spell slot if I can't actually use it.
AFK real quick. This will be a short one, I promise.
All right. What was your new spell?
I'm still looking.
Okay.
I have a lot more that I'm not as familiar with as we've gotten higher in level.
I need a DM fidget spinner, a quiet one.
I have a dice that I roll. It doesn't mean anything. I just like rolling it.
I feel like I need to do something with my hands while I'm like DMing. Shut up, Dave. Everyone get their HP sorted out?
Yes, or I did.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to go through all of you guys to make sure. Because the caning was the same way. Every single person's HP was all messed up.
Just did a long rest. I think that's all I needed to do with mine.
Drez, you're perfect. Don't let that go to your head.
Back.
He didn't even hear it.
Didn't even hear it. Wait, why does it say that your maximum hit points is 436? Alright, I'm just gonna let you fix that.
Okay, I'm gonna take Prayer of Healing for today. I'm probably gonna change that out once I do a little more research, but I think for today we'll go with that.
Okay. and your hit points should be 40 because you're not casting on yourself, right? Aid?
No, I haven't cast it on myself.
Yeah.
It's 31. Is that wrong?
It is wrong. So your maximum HP, you're taking your maximums, right? Your maximum HP is 40. So whenever we long rest, it resets, and that's because you have to uncheck reset maximum HP. It just unfortunately requires a bit more micromanagement by taking our maximums. I fixed it for you.
There's a Drezek tip
Oh,
about
you
this,
did?
by the
Let me
way, just
just
saying.
refresh.
There is a Drezek tip about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I just
So
did 9 HP, so cool.
you can feel the humidity in the air, the cool mist, sort of. If everyone ever has been to Niagara Falls, this is what it kind of feels like, but on like a cool fall day.
And no reaction from the dude yet.
Not yet.
I look over at Mesker and say, "Go get him."
What is your business on this road? He shouts out at Mesker as he steps onto the bridge.
We're looking to buy a doll.
He pauses, his helmeted head sort of cocking to one side, almost not expecting that response.
Well, why?
Can't imagine why.
Old things are stirring, and the Lord of Castle Ravenloft roams this valley. Tell me, do you serve him?
No.
We
So with
serve
that
no one.
with that no, his posture visibly relaxes. He appears to be somewhat relieved, and allows the great sword that he's holding sort of in front of him with two hands to kind of like lean against him more in a relaxed sort of manner. And he gestures with one gauntleted hand for you to approach. Come closer, travelers, so I may look upon you in peace.
Cora is going to very quietly say, he kind of looks like one of the cards we drew.
Relax my bow, grip on my bow slightly as we approach him. Boop-a-doop. And ta-da!
And looking over the greatsword.
The Myrmidon.
So the great sword is ancient. The edge has been honed, but it looks old, and as does the rest of his armor as well. It looks like it's maintained per se, but as if like a relic, an antique had been maintained. The armor looks literally hundreds of years old. And as you get closer to him, Mesker, you can see through the slots in the helmet, where you can see where normally you would see the figure's face. There's something off about what's inside. You don't see the same complexion that you would perhaps hope to see from someone wearing that kind of armor. It looks pale, almost chalky white. Tell me, travelers, do you oppose the Lord of Castle Ravenloft? And as he says that, he's looking, you can see his black eyes behind his helmet, looking at your weapons. So he's looking at Mesker's maul, casting an eye back towards Elanil's bow and the rapiers and other weapons that are kind of being stashed about. Cora obviously looks well armored in her chainmail.
Her holy symbol of the Morning Lord is readily visible around her neck.
Okay.
As well. Or I guess not the Morning Lord. My version.
Lathander, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, he asked if we opposed him.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I pushed pause real quick.
We are not friends of Strahd, but we are new to this land.
So you do not oppose him?
We are not strong enough to oppose him yet, but we hope to in the future.
Is there anything you want to say, Dave?
I'm just staring at him.
Are you real close talking with him?
Close talking. Did you have onions
I
for
ain't
lunch?
talking. I'm not talking right now. I'm just staring.
You are not friends of the Lord of Castle Ravenloft, though.
No,
Not
he is no
friends
friend
of
of
anybody.
ours. And he seems like a blight upon this land.
We oppose any who prevent us from leaving this place.
That is your goal, then, to leave.
Pause. I'm about to start opposing people that ain't gonna let me cross
It
this
is.
fucking bridge.
I mean, is he opposing us crossing the bridge? He's just talking.
He's asking you questions.
I mean, I don't think he's bad. So
Just going to sidle over here and lean on. There's place to lean here, right, Dave? I'm not gonna like
I
Mesker
oppose
tumbles to his death. Yeah, you can.
Reroll.
Yeah, you could. You guys wake up in Barovia. No.
I oppose all who tarnish the will of my god.
And whom do you serve?
Lathanter. But in this land he is known as the Morning Lord.
He kind of grunts and inclines his head at the first sign of perhaps respect being given. The only thing a tyrant needs to thrive is for those who will not oppose him. If you are looking to leave this land, I bid you only success and hope. But if you do not oppose the Lord of the castle, you will have great difficulty in achieving this goal. And then, sort of casting an eye to Mesker, he steps aside. Almost disappointed.
He was looking for a fight.
May I ask if you oppose Strahd and how?
I have been sent to this bridge because I disobeyed the commands of my lords in my wish to bring the fight to Strahd. And so here I stand, watching the dark places of this land and awaiting an order that will never come.
Your lords.
Sir Vladimir Horngard of the Order of the Silver Dragon.
vague. That's almost as good as Wessel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lord of the Order of the Silver Dragon. Sorry, I'm taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been girding this bridge long?
I was sent here along with some of my brothers and sisters when an uprising came to the castle. We begged for permission to bring the fight to he who sits on his throne up in that accursed place, but were denied. And in penance, I have been sent here to make watch over the falls.
What do you watch the falls for?
For those who darken its path with ill intent and misdeed.
Drezek snickers.
Is this like a common path for those who support Strahd?
You will find many in this land who support Strahd. There is no shortage of vantage.
Do your lord Sir Vladimir Horngard, do they seek to fight Strahd and oppose him?
And he's looking at Cora now, quizzically. If you wish to know more, I would bid you speak with Sir Godfrey Gwillem, my friend, who is in Arjen Vostholt, our headquarters. If you start looking to perhaps make a difference in this place, that is where I would start.
I'm sorry, what was his name? I couldn't type that fast.
Sir Godfrey Gwillem, I can put it in the chat.
And where is he?
Thank you.
In Arjen Vostholt.
I'm glad you put that in the chat because I was
Yeah,
wrong.
I spelled it perfectly.
Actually, it's that. My bad. There's a Y.
I didn't spell it perfectly.
Sorry.
I didn't even
You
get
son of a
try.
bitch.
There's quite the keyboard mash there, Crane.
Yeah.
Who is Sir Godfrey?
He is a friend, and a like-minded one of our order.
We are new to this land. Where is Arjun Vostolt?
1 second here. West, beyond the walled town, then south upon the ash-grey path.
Does anyone else have any questions? I'm still thinking, but
No. Means let us go. I say we move on.
I just want to make sure if we're gonna need to oppose Strahd eventually, like that we find as many allies as we can.
Especially since he might have been on a card.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Maybe it's just the order represented on the card.
have you been assigned to guard this bridge for good, or do you think you'll be reassigned somewhere?
He shrugs his shoulders. I am oath-sworn. It is not for me to question, only to obey, as much as it pains me.
Fair enough. Is there anything we can do to make your duty easier? Actually, you know what? Cora will touch him and cast Bless, and just it'll offer him, a advantage on whatever his next roll is. Not Bless.
He looks at Cora
Guidance.
guidance. He looks at you very pointedly and brings a gauntleted fist up to his chest in sort of a salute and inclines his head. As soon as you touch him, a chill runs through your body.
She'll say, "Are you okay?" Had a chill there.
I am what I am. And go ahead and roll me a
Initiative check.
I'll just give it to you because you touched him and you're a cleric. This man is dead.
Really?
Can I roll
Turn undead.
anything to know more about like what kind of dead he is? I don't want to like cry and ask him, but would I have any knowledge?
Does your character has your character been around a lot of undead? I guess you have turn undead, so that would mean that you'd have some studies in it.
I mean, I would think that as a cleric of the light, I probably have at least researched the opposite side of things in terms of like, I'm sure that Lathander has enemies and, they're probably the opposite side of the coin, as it were.
Give me a religion check, and then I'm gonna ask Elanil to also give a survival check because that's her favorite enemy.
I rolled a 23.
Well, better than I did.
19
Uh,
plus 4.
you with those rolls, you both are successful. So, you both, perhaps as Cora kind of proclaims, "Do you have a chill, or is everything all right?" Um, both of you would have sort of this realization come over you that what's standing in front of you is a revenant. Um, it's a sort of a subclass of undead. It is undead. 100% is not living. It's reanimated, but it has a higher intelligence. It's not a zombie. It's not a skeleton. It's not a vampire. It has a heightened sense of what it was in its former life. Um, and in this particular sense, you get the impression that it is like heavily lawful. This is a lawful sort of oath-bound remnant of what it once was. It's saying that it was an order. It was part of the order of a silver dragon. You kind of come to the conclusion that it's still holding, to some extent, to those precepts. But it is 100% a revenant. It is dead, and it looks like it's been this way for an incredible length of time.
I will ask the question, and I will say, you don't have to answer this if you don't want. Is the rest of your order as you are?
Yes.
Mesker sighs, his shoulders slump, turns around, walks back. Are you magically bound to watch these falls?
I am been ordered to watch this road. I am not magically bound to watch it. I have been given a direction, and I have never once disobeyed such.
So, you ask for orders to oppose the army that destroys this land, and you were denied those orders.
I asked for permission to join the uprising against the castle when word came to us that they were moving against him, and I was denied. But we are those from this land originally, before darkness came to Barovia. We of the Order opposed the Lord of Ravenloft in life. If you wish
So,
to know more, I would advise you speak to Sir Godfrey.
I don't want to know more. I want to know more about you. So that denial, where you were not allowed to join, who does that tell you your masters serve?
I have been trained not to question, but to obey. My spirit is bound from disobeying these things.
I'm a soldier too, sir. When I look at you, when I look at ability that I can see, and I imagine you'd be better served somewhere other than this bridge.
If you can find a way for me to do as I will, I would be most interested to hear it. But until then, I cannot change what is.
What are your exact orders?
This is why I don't serve with knights.
I stand on this path, watching the dark places and awaiting an order that will never come. He's repeating the same thing he said before.
So you must be on this path, but not necessarily this bridge.
If I am told to move, I move. This is my post.
You said that your order is from the people who lived in the area before Strahd. Um, how long ago did Strahd come?
And he looks up to the sky, thinking. My recollection is not what it used to be, but it has been centuries.
What was it like when Strahd came? Did he, arrive like via carriage? Was it some sort of magical happenings? What was it like when he came and took over the land? How did that come about?
He was not what he is now. He came with armies. He came with soldiers and the machines of war.
To conquer this land?
He nods his head. If you wish to know more, I bid you speak with Sir Godfrey.
Sounds like this is a quest lead.
And what can we tell Sir Godfrey who sent us?
That you are friends, and that you oppose the Lord of Ravenloft, and that is all he will need to know.
Do you not have a name?
I had one.
What was it?
I cannot remember.
Hello, monk.
Hello, monk.
I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
So we might as well move on. You're not going to get anywhere.
No, but I think
Whatever.
we've learned some interesting.
Agreed. We learned quite a bit, though.
And Mesker's going to say this pointedly. Whatever intelligence he held as a man, he lost when he became a knight. It's like a lobotomy for soldiers.
You're so rude.
You're not a fan of knights, are you?
Nope.
Dave's
Obviously
roll
not.
nice.
Can you make a will
Well,
save
I
check for me? I'm just kidding.
I guess we know where to find him if we need him. The card that with him was a powerful force for good and protection, holy symbol of great hope.
Well, and it's
Right,
not
that's
necessarily him, right? It could be the order.
It's true. It's true.
It doesn't necessarily mean the individual, but it could be that we found what that card represented and is encouraging us to follow this path.
It's interesting that they're revenants.
Yeah, my character's not happy about the fact that it's a revenant.
Yeah, I can't say like I would be either.
But I'll, grudgingly walk past without trying to
Yeah, I'll
kill
say
him.
thank you. Thank you for your
Moided.
time. I hope that this land sees better days.
As do I, and may he light your path.
And he nods to your sunburst on your chest.
She will nod at him in response, and
How does Vinrath react to him?
Vinrath doesn't really know what to make of him. I think Vinrath is more sort of following your lead at this point, just because it's never encountered anything like this before.
what about Muriel?
Muriel is watching the Revenant very curiously on her perch near one of these little outcroppings.
After we kind of walk away a little bit, I will ask both Muriel and the lady, can't remember her name, if they are familiar with this order at all.
Irina?
Yes, that's the one. Her.
Yeah, so if you guys manage to, Drez and Elanil, you guys walking by?
Yep. Sorry, I just hadn't moved my token.
As soon as you walk past him, he resumes his post in the middle of the bridge, snapping in a very soldierly fashion, planting the tip of his blade into the stone bridge, and kind of resetting up. Still as stone, still as a statue. If you were to ask Irina, she wouldn't be familiar with this order. There's a lot of history in Barovia, and Strahd came hundreds of years ago. Irina would be able to tell you that Strahd came about 400 years ago, when things started to change in Barovia.
Help, we're in the void.
What about Muriel?
I don't think that Elanil can talk to Muriel right now because she would have to recast speaking with animals.
Oh, that's right. Muriel doesn't. But Muriel understands us, right? Or no?
She's a bird.
I mean, it seemed like last time when we said something, she understood it, and then she would like caw it. But maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
You got really quiet again, Iris, by the way.
Well, the waterfall's gone, so there won't be as much competition.
Oh, there we go.
All right, are you guys continuing north? Okay. You continue down the winding road, which climbs a short distance north before bending west to avoid a bald-headed peak on its right, around here. Its craggy cliffs bearing an array of sharp rocks that jut out over the roadway. It's not long before the road bends north once again. A second hill arising from the fog on your left. Twisted trees dot its steep slopes, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers. As you travel deeper between the hills, the road narrows and the cliffs grow taller. Soon, though, the hills fall away once more, the road continuing forth into a small, fog-choked basin. Here at this crossroads, you see the road fork. One to the left, and you can see a wall in the distance with an open gate. And then to the right, you see it become more fog-choked, and the trees sort of fall away, and it seems more barren and more desolate, and far more mountainous as well, like almost like subalpine. There's deep ruts and deep grooves in the road from what look like to be carriage wheels going in that direction to the right.
Going towards the wall.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, we've got 2 days to buy a doll.
And give a long look up the road. Anything in particular, a thing that we notice? The road towards the castle.
Other than it seems more subalpine, it's more mountainous, it climbs a fair bit, and it just seems far more like wild, far more rustic,
Okay.
and dark. Like the fog is just thick going towards the east.
Hey guys, if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna switch to Monk's headset, just so I'm a little easier to hear.
Okay, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just-
better now.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. It's not an issue for me.
Sporadic though.
Pardon
What's
me?
that? It seems to be so sporadic though. Give me 1 sec.
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Do you want this one?
No, like I said, all you have to do is put that on. That's it.
Oh god, it's so big.
Whoa.
Let's just go ahead and switch channels, guys.
Oh no. Now. No, I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You
Oh,
sound
wow,
like you sound like Monk. That's wow.
You guys sound different on his headset.
Like better?
Just different. It's so weird. Has Monk said you guys sound like assholes.
Jesus.
Now I gotta turn you down. Wow.
And you're kind of staticky right now.
Maybe I'm too far away from his receiver.
That may be it. You're better
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. Well, if it causes problems, I'll switch back to the other one.
Oh, you're really choppy now.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say that you were okay on the last one. You were just quieter, and I had to move
Yeah.
you up.
Okay. I will switch back. Mako was trying so hard to be helpful, but I'll just switch back.
You guys too.
You're muted. Yeah, that's true. You can yell all the insults that you want. He can't hear.
Sorry about that. I'm back now.
Welcome back.
Mako tried so hard. He was like so excited to help have me wear his headset.
Well, it's a thought that counts.
It is. It's been really nice being here. Okay, sorry. Back on course.
All right. So if you were to continue west, the road continues forward, passing between a patch of dark woods, and you're going to be going through here, thereabouts. You pass sort of without issue through these gates. They're not manned, they're not guarded. They're just gates sort of set up across the road, and there's no gate, there's no portcullis, there's nothing to block your way. You just kind of seem to pass without any issue. The air here is as quiet as the grave, trees standing perfectly still in the unnerving silence. Not far from the road, however, nestled in the overgrown underbrush, you see what looks to be a prominent mossy stone slab standing just under 6 feet in height. It rests on an old, cracked stone circle and seems to bear some kind of carving.
Pretty close to the road?
Yep.
I'll go take a
You have a picture?
I don't have a picture, but I can describe it for you if you decide to get
Mhm.
closer.
Yes, we do.
So, on getting closer, again, it's standing just under 6 feet tall, but this slab bears a crude carving of a raven over an engraved three-pointed star. The grooves of this carving are lined with lichen and moss.
What is a
star?
three-pointed star? Is that a triangle?
I was literally gonna ask the same thing.
It's so interesting the difference between the two groups because no one asked that question last night. But as I had been trying, like when doing the campaign prep, trying to find maybe an image I could share with you because I'm not very artistic. Otherwise, I would have drawn it. But I'm like thinking to myself as I'm looking for like an image to share. I'm like, what the fuck is a three-pointed star?
Yeah,
Is that just like a triangle with like inward curved sides? Like
I think so.
I'll draw
Like,
a picture
thank
of
you
what
very
I'm
much.
imagining real quick.
Don't you think it's gonna look like this then?
Yeah, draw something for me.
Like, isn't it gonna be like
Oh
that?
yeah, I like that. Hold on,
I
I'm gonna take
imagine
I'm gonna take
it
a
would.
picture of it.
I imagine
It's
it would
not.
be like.
It's a triangle.
I imagine it would be like the Mercedes symbol.
I was just gonna say it's very similar to the Mercedes symbol or the Mitsubishi symbol.
Yes, it's.
I'm gonna post a picture of her notes into the thing because I really like that actually.
I guess that's what it looks like now. DM likes
Yeah.
it. Boom.
Mhm.
You see a Mitsubishi symbol carved into the face of this ancient stone slab.
I roll a hot wire check. Oh, very
that
good.
is nice,
Yeah.
Info. I like that.
Yeah.
That's way better than my little sketch that
Are
I
you
was
taking
making.
handwritten notes?
She is.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't remember it if I type it. I have to
I'm
actually
impressed.
write it out.
It's funny. I'm that
was
way at work. I carry a little notebook with me everywhere I
the
go.
bane of my frickin'
Yep.
university experience.
I have a OneNote document.
I have a stack of these little.
Oh god, it's a
notebooks.
Zelda Triforce thingy.
No, it does not look like the Zelda Triforce.
Sorry. I'm like,
Delete,
how,
delete. Nintendo will come after me.
how do I feel like? I'm like, three-pointed star.
No, it's definitely Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
I'm a
okay.
big fan of the Mitsubishi now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just cross
That's what
that
it looks
off
like. And there's a
of the
raven. There's a raven in profile, sort of on top of the centered on the top of this three-pointed star.
Is Muriel with us?
Muriel has never left your side.
I'll look at her and be like, do you know anything about this? And if she doesn't respond, that's fine. I'm still gonna say it.
She flutters down and sort of perches herself on top of this slab. Looks to cocks its head off to the right and makes a croaking sound that sounds a little bit like deadfall landing on granite.
Only to find out it's a mimic.
That tells me absolutely nothing. Um, was that a yes looking croak or a no looking croak?
I don't know. Do you currently speak Raven?
Ha!
Can she make an animal handling check?
Sure, make an animal handling check.
What is happening?
That's
I
a
will
pretty
guide
damn
you
good
to
animal
it.
handling check.
You get the definite impression that Muriel has seen this stone slab before.
God damn it! All right, I'm going.
How long
Cast.
does animal talking last?
Hold on. 10 minutes. No, wait. Yeah, 10-minute duration.
That's disappointingly short.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably worth it. So I will cast it. And then ask Muriel what she knows about the symbol that we're looking at on the rock. Okay, so she's been to this rock before, and it's familiar from elsewhere as well. So I'm going to ask her where else she has seen the symbol. Okay. That was a waste of a cast. She's seen the symbol over the river, in the forest, and up on the hill. And I cannot get any more specific than that. Because I asked her if it was in the castle, and she just said on the hill. Anything
ask
else?
her about the dude on the bridge, if she has ever seen them or heard of their order before.
Okay.
Might as well. I mean, you already used it, so like, might as well get our use of the cast.
She says they're the dead ones, and there's more of them to the west, which I would imagine, taking a little leap here, would be Dude's friend that he's sending us to. Because Vallaki is west.
Has she had any like good or bad interactions with them, or seen them do any good or bad things?
She's never personally observed them. Anybody else have a question for the Raven that we saved
Before her 10 minutes is up.
before my 10 minutes is up?
I feel like this is like, like you're talking to your loved one in jail and you've got like 10 minutes to get everything out.
That's what it kind of feels like. Yeah.
Gotta make the most of that call. Actually, yeah. So let's ask her about the things we saw on the cards, and if she, recognizes any of the symbology there. That might be more than a little raven brain can handle.
I can do that actually because I have the pack of Taroka cards.
Oh, that's
so
right. Crane's like, shit, what do I do now?
fuck Dave. All right, so I'll rummage in my pack and bring out the Taroka cards and lay the cards out in front of Muriel so she can see them. The ones that Madame Ava drew for us.
She swoops down and pecks at all of them, just kind of sniffing them, like checking them out. Sniffing them as much as a bird can sniff. Yeah. And then she looks up to you.
Could you demonstrate that for us, please?
Yeah, sure. Just
What
give me a
does that
second.
sound like? Bird
Just
sniffing?
give me a second to tell you to go fuck yourself, and I'll get right to that. And then she turns to Elanil and she croaks out a response.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything. Sorry,
It was worth a try.
Yeah. All right. I will put the cards back in my pack and dust myself off and get ready to move on. Or resume walking down the road.
You guys ready to continue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The road soon emerges from the woods once more, veering between two hills. Before long, it bends to the north, hugging the base of a mountain. So here's the mountain right here. Frost Giant wants to join. I don't know who that is.
It was me. I had 2 tabs apparently.
Oh.
I could you can reject it. I still have the other tab open. I
No,
don't know what happened.
That's fine. That's fine. The road transitions here from being a winding path through the mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of this valley, you can see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, so up here to the northwest. The lake waters are dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill right here, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. And as this windmill comes into view, you hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across the packed earth. And you see very quickly coming into view, walking along the road from the north coming towards you, a hunched figure, bundled in rags and robes, warm clothing, pushing a rickety wooden cart through the fog.
Bring out your dead.
Hey, it was Unc, not me, that did the Monty Python jokes.
Oh, I like it. This is apparently I
Okay.
didn't realize that Curse of Strahd has so many parallels to Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
So posting in the chat here, as she gets closer, it's a she. It looks like an older, almost decrepit-looking woman, very weather-worn. She has a kind face about her, and she's pulling with these. There's 2 like wooden spokes that kind of come out from the back of the cart, and she's pulling this cart along this road. And then she sees you, and she pulls the cart kind of up a little closer, and then sets it down, and then kind of leans heavily on it, and she smiles and offers you guys a sort of a warm expression. And she goes,
AI.
Was that?
I was gonna say, if that is an AI woman, I'm so impressed with her fingers.
It is. It is an AI woman, and
so
I agree.
impressed with her fingers.
Oh no, they're
Oh,
learning
God.
hands.
How will we tell?
I know it's very good.
That's a creepy picture, though. Something about it.
Because it's AI, I guess. I don't know. She says, "Weary travelers, good afternoon. I hope the road has not been too hard."
That's really well done.
Hello, ma'am.
Serious campaign. Serious. Stay serious.
I am called Morgantha.
She kind of wipes her hands on her robes and looks at you smilingly, expectantly.
Nice to meet you, Morgantha. Where are you on your way to?
Oh, I'm on my way home. I've been in Vallaki all day peddling my wares.
You live around here?
She gestures up the hill towards the old stone windmill.
I live up there in the old windmill on the hill there with my 2 daughters, Bella and Athalia.
I look up at the windmill and I'm like, oh, it looks like what do you sell?
She
And
she
I
just
obviously stutter when I don't want to be like, man, your windmill looks like shit.
That's funny. She gestures to her cart, and she beams at you as you inquire as to what she's selling. Obviously, maybe she's quite proud or quite happy about that. She says,
I'm a humble baker. I sell baked wares to the good people of Barovia. A humble peddler. Those poor, hungry deers camped outside the gates in Vallaki can't get enough of my pastries.
Pastries do you make?
They're called dream pastries, an old family recipe. Would you like to try one? I have a few left over from my day, and I was going to save them for later, but the first one's always free.
I'm good for now, but that's really generous of you.
Are you sure? You could take them for the road, maybe.
Drezek looks at Mesker and says, "You look like you could use a pastry."
Sure, I'll take one as a snack for later, and Cora will very carefully wrap it up in some cloth and put it in her bag.
yeah. So she'll actually as she reaches in, she pulls out some parchment paper that she has all kind of set off to the side, and she takes this pastry and she places it in the parchment paper. And as she does so, you can glimpse this pastry. It looks incredible. Like the stuff that you've eaten in the last several days, the stew, for example, last night was top shelf, but this looks like the most refined thing that you've seen made here so far. It's the pastry looks like fluffy and crispy, and it's baked perfectly. And I know fluffy and crispy are opposites, so just hear me out.
Crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside.
Exactly.
It doesn't look like it has a filling in it or anything like that.
It does. So
Or
it has notch marks on the top, like you would cut knocks into like a pie shell. What are they called? Steam vents. Yeah. So they got those notched into them, and you can see what looks to be almost like a strawberry or a raspberry filling on the inside. They have an aroma. Like when she brings them out and starts packing them, you can smell what looks to be like a fruit pastry of some kind. There's a bit of savoriness to it as well, which wouldn't be unusual because a lot of baked pies in this era often have nuts and seeds and whatnot mixed in as well. So they smell good and they look finely crafted, and everyone is perfectly baked, and they're about the size of your hand, stretched out, kind of like a personal serving, almost like a mini pie.
We'll say that these look delicious. I'll ask her if she bakes them up in her windmill.
I do. That's me and my daughters. We make a batch every day, and then one of us takes a turn going up to Vallaki to sell them.
How do you all stay safe on the road?
Oh, an old woman has her tricks. You live long enough in Barovia, and you make your way. You know when to travel and where to take your road.
Why are they called dream pastries?
Oh, this an old family recipe. They say they're filled with the light and love of dreaming. They say when you eat one of my dream pastries at night before bed, you are blessed with good and positive dreams. Maybe that's why they're so popular.
Can I do any sort of insight roll, or I don't know?
Mesker's one ahead of you.
That's a good roll, man. You get the impression that she is genuinely impressed with her pastries. She means she's not lying about the fact that they give you positive dreams. She feels like she's telling you the truth, like she's being honest about that, and honest about the fact that she likes to make them and sell them to people.
So, where do you get the fruit?
There's many berries in Barovia, lad. You just have to find them.
What kind of berries?
Oh, all kinds of berries, and strawberries, and raspberries, and blackberries. It depends on what's in season. You know, you have to.
Are you rolling initiative?
You just wasted a 20 on a fake initiative roll.
It's a fucking witch!
But she would go on to explain that depends on what's in season. Like, I mean, you follow the seasons, and in spring there's different berries that are fruiting, and in fall you have to go for different ones. And when the crop is sparse, she'll try to fill it up with like nuts and seeds and all sorts of things that she knows how to create these, these dream pastries. But she doesn't go into detail. It's a family recipe.
Fair. I want to be so suspicious, but I'm not sure what to do.
Give it a try. Tell us what you think.
Cora wouldn't be rude. So, I think she would probably just accept the pastry and put it away if anyone else has anything they want to say or do.
Can I get you all a pastry? I have 5 more left. 1 for each of you.
Convenient.
Not suspicious at all.
Sure, I'll take one. Thank you.
She packs you up with dream pastry.
I will also nod in agreement to taking one, but I definitely won't sample it in front of her.
She packs you up one, and she also packs one up for Irina, who takes one.
I don't eat
I'll,
sweets.
I'll ask Irina, since she's at least from, this land. Have you ever tried these pastries before or heard of them?
Irina shakes her head and
I've never been up to Vallaki before, so first time I've met this lady too. She seems sweet.
The NPC trusts her. We need to kill it.
Okay, let's take the pastries and move on, folks. Let's go.
If you're going to Vallaki, I would say be careful out the gates. The guards are confiscating all visible silver and any silver coins you might have, so you may want to secret those away. And if you're carrying anything silver on you, if you have a medallion on you or anything like that, like the silver medallion that you got, Cora, she would be looking at that as if to say you might want to hide your silver.
Why are they hiding? Why are they taking silver?
They call it a traveler's tax. Anybody's guess as to why they need the silver.
How thoroughly do they search?
Anything visible, my dear. Anything visible.
So if I just hide it beneath my clothes, or so it's not visible, that would be enough.
I imagine that would be sufficient.
Did they take anything of yours?
Oh, no. No, I know where to hide my silver, lad.
Please, let's move on. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Okay.
We can't hear you, Ento.
Yeah, she's muted, but she's saying it's time to go.
I'm really enjoying all your people on the road, Crane. And events.
Thanks. All right.
I don't trust it, but I'm enjoying it.
All right. So the winding valley road, and you leave Morgantha behind, and you can hear her kind of grunting and groaning as she pulls her cart up the hill towards her windmill.
So if you're taking notes, Drezek, we've left behind 1 known vampire and likely 3 witches.
Yep. Oh, and a revenant. Yeah, we're just cleaning up here.
Don't forget about the werewolf.
Yeah, and a werewolf. Like I said, bleeding hearts of the world unite.
Maybe she's just a kindly old woman, guys. Maybe I wrote her into the story because you have too much darkness and despair. You know? God. So
Grandma
suspicious.
figure. Like, come on now.
So as you continue, the winding valley road hugs the mountainside as it meanders north. The dark roads cling to the opposite side of the road, tall gnarled trees creeping as close as they dare. You can hear the sound of the wind rustling through the leaves and the occasional creak of branches. From time to time, it almost sounds like the trees are whispering among themselves or stirring their ancient roots in the old, rotten mulch. And as this road continues, the forest swallows it up on both sides, the trees towering far above your heads, blocking out all but the barest hints of gray light. The air grows thick and heavy with the scent of moss and rotting leaves. In the distance, you hear a raven's gurgling croak, followed by the sound of fluttering wings. Before long, it becomes clear that your presence in this dreary land has not gone unnoticed. A raven follows you for several minutes while keeping a respectful distance. And about at this time, Muriel, who's been very close to you, kind of hopping from tree to tree or landing in front or maybe from behind, she actually takes flight and she glides and soars her way up and starts flying sort of in formation with this other raven.
Does it seem to be like a friendly flight?
Yeah, it doesn't seem unusual to you. Like they are really flying together and kind of doing some air acrobatics occasionally and doing what ravens do.
Um, it's a normal raven. Like, it's just a normal black raven.
It looks like a normal black raven, yes. And that
Just checking.
raven, as you walk, as you're traveling across this road here, that raven is joined by many more ravens until there's actually a murder, like a flock of ravens that are kind of in the sky, high above, nowhere near you, but you can see them above you. Um, Ahead, the trees to north break, revealing a grassy field right here. The tall grasses sway in the chill air, the field stretching until it reaches the shores of a dark, distant lake. Fog clings to the shoreline, and even from a distance you can hear the faint sound of water lapping against the rocks. The water is perfectly still and dark, reflecting the black clouds overhead like a monstrous mirror. And as soon as you approach this lake, Irina freezes, almost like she's seeing something that she's recognized from long ago. There's a very unsettled, almost pained expression kind of gripping her features.
Ask her what's up.
This lake. This lake is from my dream with the wolf.
And she's gesturing with her hands and turning to you guys, recalling you to the dream she shared last night during the Game of Stories.
It is impossible. I've never been here before. I've never left the Svalage Woods, and yet here it is.
We don't always remember everything from our childhoods. It's possible you've been here before.
Is it possible? I don't know. It's so confusing.
And after a few
Yes.
moments, go ahead.
I was say a lot of strange things going on in this land, especially with dreams.
Maybe.
Or perhaps we need to go back and recount because someone else might have won.
Maybe you are right, Mesker. and she reshoulders her pack. Perhaps one of those dream pastries will make me feel a bit better tonight, eh? And she nods her head and resolves to continue on the path. So as quickly as it appears, the field is swallowed up by the forest again, the trees closing in around you once more. The dark undergrowth rustles and stirs in the wind, and the weight of the forest presses in from all sides. You're unable to shake the sense that somehow you're being watched. And Drezek, This is something that you succeeded on here. As your footsteps squelch into the old muddy road, you glimpse a flicker of movement in the underwood. A flash of gray fur, amber eyes, and sharp white teeth. Then, as soon as it appears, it vanishes again, skulking back into the shadows. The woodland road takes you through a small forested clearing, the tree line littered with dense thickets, moss-covered boulders, and craggy ridges. And then, without warning, 8 snarling shadows launch from the underbrush, fangs bared and claws outstretched. And give me a moment to open up an encounter, and then you will be able to roll for initiative.
Did you say 8?
8 snarling shadows as far as you can see, that's correct. And go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I, Libby, am going to make a suggestion that we don't cast Speak to Animals on them.
Mommy!
I like it.
Daddy!
Eight is a lot. I guess we're much higher level in this campaign too.
You mean the Candlekeep? Or...
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So for this first round of combat, and I'll try to remember, everyone is surprised except for Drezek. Unless you have a feat. Does you have alert, Mesker?
Yes.
Then you also don't get surprised.
That explains your high initiative rolls.
Yes.
I apologize, guys, if I'm a little clunky with this. It's weird not having multiple monitors to do everything.
Oh, I can't imagine, yeah. I mean, I've got 2 monitors and 5 windows open.
I offered her mine, she refused.
Don't you have a little
Gosh,
portable third
Phil.
alternate monitor?
I need to name these wolves here. Goes up to E. So as this combat begins, as these snarling figures emerge from the underbrush to attack you, you also notice above this chorus of croaking and crying out as Muriel, with her blue-tipped feathers, flashing down in a dive bomb formation, followed by 2 large swarms of black ravens swooping down towards your location. And it would have been Elanil first, but she is surprised. Mesker, you are
Question, is this a noticeably different creature?
Yeah, so that is a hybrid wolf. It seems to be a biped. It is launching itself towards you in a half run, half crouch. Very clearly a humanoid form. Would Drezek have ever seen a werewolf before?
Don't know. Possibly.
If he has, he would recognize this as a werewolf. If he has not,
Okay.
then he would recognize this as a man-wolf of some kind, a half man, half wolf.
So is he with a vampire thrall and a witch that we've also left behind?
No.
Just saying.
What do you want to do, Mesker?
Who is where?
Oh, you're the best.
And I will ready an attack.
Okay. Just like a two-handed attack.
Yeah, I'm just ready.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Wolf A. 5, 10, 15. It's going to attack Drezek. Are you going to use your ready to attack? Or are you just... I'm just trying to anticipate for rolls here.
Shit. I was hoping the other one had higher. Yeah, I'll attack it.
Okay, go ahead. Give me an attack roll. That hits. Roll for damage. Are you adding any dice?
Nope.
Okay. You hit it solidly in the shoulder. You can hear bone cracking as you almost take this thing out.
This is so familiar.
But it steadies itself, and it's in mid-launch as you're doing this towards Drez, and it's still going to make its attack. It's a 12. I think that misses, eh, Drez?
Miss.
Okay. Next up is Wolf B.
What the hell? What kind of initiative rolls do these assholes have?
So the way that D&D Beyond does it, rolls initiative for every character type. So all of the wolves share initiative.
Right.
So it's moving for Irina. And that is a hit. Doing 6 points of damage. Okay, next up is Wolf C for Elanil. A 13. Miss. Next is Wolf D. Wolf D leaps off this little embankment here, landing down 5, 10, and attacking Cora. Uh, 20. Not a crit, just a 20.
Jesus.
And that hits, eh? Cora?
Iris?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, my AC is 18.
5 points of damage.
The cleric has a higher AC than the fighter.
I
Or the
have
rogue?
I have pretty good armor on, is what's going on there.
And Wolf E, running up here, also swinging for an attack. And gets advantage because it's next to Wolf D. 21.
That'll hit.
Wait, advantage or it's threatened?
It get pack tactics. They get advantage when
Jesus.
two wolves are flanking. 6 points of damage. Drez, you're up.
All right, I'm going to make an offhand attack bonus on Wolf A.
Say again.
I'm going to make an offhand attack on Wolf A.
Sorry, just 1 second.
No, the other ones don't go. The werewolves.
They're not in that initiative order yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fucking 5.
And you're attacking Wolf A?
A. Yep.
That is a miss.
Shit. All right, main hand attack on it. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's a miss. Is that your turn?
I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. So, swarm of ravens A swoops down again in this dive bomb formation. Perhaps there's a moment in time where you're not sure if these ravens are helping you or hindering you, but that question is answered fairly quickly when it dives for the werewolf over here in a beak attack. 22.
What does that sound like?
It sounds like 1,000 ball bearings landing on a glass floor.
Thank you.
Okay, I hate you. So that does, it's a 9, rolled a 9, but it only does 5 damage. And then Swarm of Ravens B swoops down for this one here. That's a hit. Doing 9 points of damage to Wolf C. and just a flurry of feathers and birds just swarming this wolf. And as it kind of banks away and takes flight again, the wolf is left just covered in these micro punctures. It's bleeding. There's blood running down its flank, and it's missing an eye. And Muriel dives down for Wolf C as well, using its multi-attack. Miss. And a hit. Doing 8 points of damage to Wolf C, hitting it hard, taking away its other eye, and the wolf staggers for a moment before it dies. Wolf C is out of commission. And the werewolf leaps down from its escarpment position here in front of Mesker and swings wildly with its claws. 22.
Hits.
8 points of damage. And then kind of after making that initial swing, it leans forward, gnashing and snapping with its bite with a multi-attack of 18.
Hit.
6 points of damage.
How are you fucking rolling like this?
I don't know, man.
You are rolling 10 higher than I am.
I use
He
all
rolled
of,
like this last night too.
I use all of my good rolls when I'm DMing and when I'm a player.
Holy
I just don't
shit.
roll good at all. So again, that was 6 points of damage. And Mesker, can you make a Constitution save for me, please?
Sure.
I just want to say that's how people die to chairs.
Okay. Cora, it would be your turn, but you're surprised. Irina, it would be your turn, but you are surprised. Round of combat has ended. We're on to round 2. Elanil, it's your turn with an initiative of 20.
Who is near me? Okay. So I'm going after Wolf A.
Okay.
With my glaive.
Mhm.
11.
What's a miss?
And then I'm going to do bonus attack, which is also a frickin' miss.
It's a miss.
Fuck. I don't suppose I have a bonus attack for wrath, do I?
No, you do not.
Fine. Guess my turn's over
Okay.
then.
Mesker, you're up.
So if we're keeping track, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 player misses in a row, and 4 DM hits in a row.
I'm glad someone's keeping track.
I am.
I mean, sorry, Drez.
Yeah, I'm keeping track.
So I'll take a swing at the werewolf in front of me.
Okay.
That was a pretty good swing.
That hits.
Let's call this a menacing attack. So I gotta look at the totals here.
18. 11 and
Well,
7.
the 7 is doubled.
Okay. 14 plus 11 is 25.
Yep.
So you do 13 points of damage.
And it's scared of me now. Unless it failed. Oh, DC roll of 13. Wisdom.
It is scared of you. Yep.
And do shit damage to that thing. I'm gonna call it my turn.
Okay, it's Wolf A's turn, swinging at Drezek.
Sentinel.
Go ahead.
11.
That is a miss.
Okay.
And 13 misses,
I
doesn't it,
tried
Drez?
Drez.
Misses. Yep, that's okay.
Okay.
Fortunately, he rolls against me like I roll against him.
Wolf B attacking Irina again. It's a hit. 8 points of damage.
Oh.
How does Irina look?
She looks bloodied.
Oh shit.
Wolf C is dead. Wolf D attacking Cora. 12, that's a miss. Wolf E attacking Cora. 14, that's a miss. Drez, you're up.
All right, I'm going to. Man. I'm going to use a bonus action, cunning action, to disengage and move to here, and then take a action attack on Wolf B before it kills Irina.
Give me a roll. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
I'm sorry, man. That is a miss. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Swarm of ravens takes a swing at werewolf. That's a hit. Doing 4 points of damage. Swarm of ravens B swoops down over here to D Wolf. That's a miss. Muriel swooping down over to Wolf A. Miss. Critical hit.
The MVP of this fight is going to be a fucking raven.
I'm averaging 5.5 on a roll of D20.
Doing 17 points of damage to Wolf A. As Muriel sort of flashes by Wolf A streak of red passes across the neck of the wolf, and then there's just gouts of bright red arterial blood, and then the thing just crumples off to the side. Muriel flashing back up into the sky.
I'm going to take that moment of pause to yell out that I'm not really hurting this thing.
It is now the werewolf's turn, and it regenerates. Some of its wounds start to knit back together, and it looks down at Mesker and grins. Slashing at Mesker with a claw. 8, that's a miss. Leaning forward with gnashing teeth, rolling an 18 for a total of 23. That's a hit. And you take 11 points of damage. And roll me a Constitution save, please. Cora, you're up.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is move. Can I move my rat through the horse to
Yes.
Irina? Okay.
Yes.
So the rat's gonna run over to Irina, and I'm going to use my action to cast Cure Wounds on Irina.
Okay.
So she gets a number of. Hold on.
Do the rats not get invoke
She
attacks of
get-
opportunity?
Where would the rat have been? Would it have been
10.
like with you?
Yeah, it was on me.
It was on
I
you?
was like I was carrying my rat, so it gets 20 feet of movement. So like if it could, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. Tell me if
it
I
would
can do that.
it would provoke an attack of opportunity if you were to leave that position there.
Okay,
From
then
both of them.
I guess Irina's fucked. So never mind.
I mean, you could
Um,
still do it. It's just it would provoke an attack.
It
The
would
rat
have
either
provoked
would
an attack
survive or not.
on me or on the rat.
On the rat, neither the rat survives or dies.
Yeah, it can't hit. If it hits it at all, it'll die. So there's no point in that. Yeah, Irina's on her own. Let me just scroll real quick and see if there's anything else. Okay, I can't do one thing for her, but it means I'm probably gonna die. I'm probably not gonna be able to do anything for myself. So I'm going to my bonus action instead of my action. I am going to cast Sanctuary on Irina.
Okay.
Basically, it means that anything that attacks her, makes a Wisdom saving throw, and if it fails, it either has to choose a new target or lose the attack.
Okay.
So, and it's a save of 13. So.
Irina is now sanctuaryized.
And then I guess for my main problem is what I was going to do for myself is also bonus actions. So I guess I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on Wolf D.
Okay. That's a dex save, I believe, correct?
Yeah. Sorry, that was damage. It's a dex save of 13.
That fails, and that does how much? 6 damage?
If it
Okay.
fails, I don't think it does.
No, I failed. The wolf failed its dex save.
No, it does.
So,
it does 6 damage then.
Perfect. Yeah. So it engulfs in flame. You can hear it whimpering. Not fatal damage though. It's the fire eventually sort of subsides, and there's burnt, smoldering fur and flesh, and you can smell that in the air.
Sorry, which one was it she attacked?
Wolf D.
Got it. Thank you.
And
I
it's still on its feet though.
I will tell you guys, I'm not looking great. Like, I'm not at half yet, but I perhaps have some wounds.
Is that your turn?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Irina is going to draw her rapier and make a thrusting motion towards Wolf B. And that's a hit. Doing 7 points of damage. And
Does she have any rogue in her?
does she want some? No.
That was my next. You blew my line.
Sorry. And does scores a really good hit here on Wolf B. Wolf B whimpers as the rapier comes out with a streak of blood. Not down yet though. And it is Elanil's turn.
Is around the tree by Wolf D, like underneath the bee crow swarm, accessible?
Yeah, so the crows are, whenever the crows come down, they go back up. So at this point in time, Swarm B is back up kind of in the skies, a good 20 to 30 feet above you.
Yeah, so I could go around that tree then
Sure, yeah,
to access D.
you can.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. And then going to hopefully hit something.
Nice.
Yay.
Somebody's rolling well.
God damn it. 5 damage to D.
Why do you want to kill it?
Nice.
Yay! I'm just gonna skewer it from behind.
Oh yeah, it's a good hit, and like maybe you aim right where the heart is, like coming in
Yeah.
from the back.
Yeah.
You managed to put that glaive perfectly between its rib bones, piercing its heart. It drops right away.
Woohoo! And then for my bonus action, I'm going to send Venroth down to Wolf B.
Go ahead and do it. Sorry.
That's okay. So you made me a custom, which is this one.
That's a miss.
Damn. Okay. He swoops down and fucking misses. Okay.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Unfortunately, it's yes.
All right. So before your turn there, Mesker, Marigold, seeing you in distress and bloodied, pivots, thinking about bolting, but then turns towards your direction and starts sprinting, galloping in your direction, provoking an attack of opportunity from Wolf B. And that's a miss. And rearing up its hind legs, it comes crashing down on the werewolf. Rolling for attack. It's a natural. You can't see it, but it's a natural 20. Doing 13 points of damage.
Damn.
And strength check for the werewolf. Rolls a natural 20, so the werewolf is not knocked prone. And it's your turn, Mesker. I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
I said I'm going to attack the werewolf again.
Okay, that's a hit.
With a 12?
Yep.
Wow, Jesus. I can't roll I can't get a 12 with a +6.
Are you using
Sure.
any combat dice?
Not yet.
Okay. So that takes 6
Um,
damage.
Yep, and I'm going to action surge. And try again. That was a 20. And that's a miss.
That's a miss.
That's a wasted action surge.
Is what it is.
That's my turn.
Okay. Is Wolf B? Wolf B is gonna run, turning and bolting away from Irina and Drez, provoking an attack of opportunity from both. Irina misses. Oh, Drez. I don't know how it's possible, dude.
I have no idea. I don't even know what to say.
I don't know what to say either.
5, 4, 2, 1. The good news is I can't roll lower the next roll.
you say that.
No, can't. I can't roll
Wait.
lower than a 1.
Actually, Drez, use my bountiful luck feature.
Did you roll a 1? You did.
I did. Oh my god.
Fucking
You
A.
guys are supposed to remember that ones aren't
Get to
ones.
reroll.
Thank you. How about a 3?
Oh my god.
That's a
You
miss.
suck.
5,
You
4,
suck,
2,
Drez. You
1,
suck.
3 have been my rolls today.
I never would
God.
believe it if I wasn't here watching it happen.
I know. I know. So you know I'm going to figure out the odds of rolling below a 5. 5 rolls in a row on a d20.
Good lord.
No, I took that feat for you, Drez, and you're just not
I know.
really using
That's not
it.
helping. I don't know what to say.
Alright, it's Wolf E's turn, attacking Cora with a bite. Rolling a 23.
God damn.
Yeah, Cora. How much does Cora take?
9 points of damage.
Cora looks bloodied.
You guys
I
have healing
mean-
potions, do you not?
I mean, it's not my turn. Like,
Okay. Drez, you're up.
9 10,000ths of a chance to roll below 5. 5 times in a row on a d20. In case you were wondering, I am going to move to here. And I'm going to make a main hand attack on Wolf E.
That's a hit.
uh,
Damn.
12 damage.
Yeah, it's at full health and you kill it in 1 hit.
Wow.
That's a lot of bad roll aggression coming through there.
Yeah.
That's a
Just
rapier to the
angry.
back, to the soft spot behind the ear, and it plunges right out the other side.
So you basically sever its central nervous system and it crumbles like a sack of potatoes.
Right. And then bonus action. I am going to use cunning action and move to here.
Okay. And that's your turn?
And that's my turn.
Okay. Swarm of Ravens A. Dive bombing down for the werewolf. Miss. Swarm of Ravens B. Diving down for the werewolf. That's a miss. Muriel swarming down for the werewolf. Miss on the first multi-attack. Miss on the second multi-attack. Okay. It is now the werewolf's turn, and right before Drez and Mesker, you can see the fresh wounds on its body begin to knit a little bit more, and it heals again. Still damaged. You can still obviously see that it's taken some hits. It's not healing everything, but there is portions of its wounds that are healing, regenerating even. And it swings at Mesker with its claws. That's a miss. And multi-attack with its bite. That's a miss. Cora, you're up.
Okay, question. How does everyone look? Like, if I scan the crowd, like, who looks like they're
Yeah,
feeling it a little
I'll
bit?
let you do a free action for that. So I will say that Drez looks, other than being pissed off, he looks in pretty good health. Elanil also looks like she's in the mint of perfect health. Irina has an open gash on her side. She has a bite mark on her left forearm and her right forearm, and she's bleeding. Mesker is flagging to one side a bit, looking quite bloodied. There is a large bite mark. Where do you want your bite mark to be, Dave?
Bow, chicka bow.
Shoulders.
Yeah, he's got 2 bite marks
First
on either
2 bites.
shoulder. Yeah, and some claw marks on his chest. And the ravens, as far as you can tell, they're flapping around pretty rapidly. They look fine as well.
Okay. So, I think I'm going to... I think I'm going to cast...
You didn't say how Marigold looked.
I'm going to cast...
Determined, devoted.
I think I'm going to cast a big one. I'm going to do Prayer of Healing. It will cast up to 6 creatures within range. So pretty much anybody who's injured at this point. Will regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier. So let me roll that. Everyone gets 17 points of healing damage, or 6 people do.
Okay.
So
Irina looks.
Taking that.
Whoops! I just killed Irina.
that was not
I'm
what I
sorry,
did.
Iris, you cut out for me a little bit. What was that spell that you cast?
It was Prayer of Healing at 2nd level, so it was one of my highest spell slots for the day.
Nice.
But so I can't do that often. but it did heal a fuck ton. That is also the spell that I swapped out this morning, so
Good call.
that'll be staying.
Life clerics, man. They're kind of important.
Yeah. But I will tell you guys that is gonna limit what I can do for the rest of the day. But and then I guess let me see if I have any bonus actions. Because I kind of had to change my plan on the fly there a little. I don't think I really have anything else. Irina does still have the sanctuary thing on her, should anybody try and attack her.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay, it's Irina's turn. She loads a silvered crossbow bolt into her crossbow and aims it at the werewolf. That's a hit. 4 points of damage. And all 4 points are applied. And as soon as it hits the werewolf, its open wounds begin to like sizzle, and like a little bit of steam kind of pours off of whatever open wound it has. Elanil, you're up.
And Wolfbee is fleeing.
Yes, in the midst of fleeing, correct.
Am I even able to get in there? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I can. Woo! Right.
And you have reach as well, right? You don't have to go right up.
Yeah. Yep. Heck. Please.
That's a hit.
9.
9, okay.
And I'll do the extra hit with my
That
glaive.
hits. Damn. 16 points of damage.
That one actually worked.
So that's 8 points of damage. Okay, that's your turn. Mesker, you're up.
Nah,
That's a miss.
that is a miss. Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Wolf B continues to run. Okay. Drez, you're up.
Moon touch rapier attack.
There you go.
Finally.
Roll me some damage.
Take a picture of that. It's the only one of the campaign for him.
Hold on. 17 plus 10.
27 points of damage.
27 points of damage.
There's the one on that sneak attack, though.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
So, as far as you can tell, after watching, this thing take hit after hit after hit, and it's just not seeming to stick. However, with your moon-touched rapier, as soon as it starts, is it more of a cut, or are you thrusting?
Thrusting.
So as you thrust in and make contact with this creature, it glides in like a hot knife through butter, and every single point of damage ticks. So you do a full
Good, because I'm not done yet. I have a bonus action, offhand attack with a silvered short sword.
Mm-hmm.
There, we're back to normal.
It's not loading for me yet.
9
Jesus.
total.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, is that your turn?
That's it.
Okay, swarm of ravens dives down for the werewolf again. And That is a hit. Doing 4 points of damage. Swarm of Ravens V. That's a miss. Muriel. That's a miss. And that's a miss. Okay. The werewolf swings wildly with his claws as it's turning towards Drez, but it's actually swinging with its left hand towards Mesker. And that's a 22.
It.
8 points of damage. And then in that sort of at the apex of that swing, it lunges and lashes out with its gnashing teeth and bites at Drezek.
Sentinel.
Dude, roll it. That's a hit.
Nice.
6 points of damage. So when your maul collides with this thing, you can hear bones breaking around its shoulder area, but still gnashing forward to bite at Drez, which rolled a 16. Does that hit, Drez?
It does.
Okay. You take 11 points of damage and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Wow.
Okay. You feel great.
Apparently he gets 2 this campaign.
All right, Cora, you're up.
I think nobody's too hurt, so I think I'm going to just cast Sacred Flame again on it.
Okay.
So it's a dex save of 13.
It rolled a 4. Roll me damage.
3.
3? Okay.
Yep.
All 3 points of damage hit.
And does it look pretty bad, or does it look still okay?
It looks bad. There's blood running down its body. It's kind of whimpering. It looks like it's hurting.
Then I'm gonna move in a little closer, but I'm not gonna do anything else.
Okay. Irina loads a crossbow, silver crossbow bolt, and fires at the werewolf, missing. Elanil, you're up.
Going in with the glaive again.
That's a hit.
And then following through.
That's a hit. That's 8 points of damage total. I did the math for you.
No, it should just be 14.
Yeah, 8 points of damage.
No, I half of 14 is 7 though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was thinking of half of 7 because you round up. Never mind. So we'll give him 1 hit point left. Yeah. So, Mesker, it's your turn. Marigold, however, rears again at this werewolf. Its eyes, Marigold's eyes are like flashing with like
Dave, have I
urgent
mentioned that
desperation.
Marigold has silver horseshoes?
Really?
They're amazing.
I don't
Ben
remember.
They were in Ben's tips. You didn't
We
hear
do
it.
have extra silver. We could get her some silver.
Some silver horseshoes. So she hits with her standard shoed horseshoes.
We're gonna tip all of the raven's talons in silver, and then Marigold is going to get silver caps on her teeth and hooves. Okay, guys, like that's what we're doing when we hit Vallaki.
She
Go
does.
back to the murder. Check out my grill.
She does 1 point of damage.
Oh,
All right, Mesker, you're up.
Her teeth will look like Kanye West.
15.
That's a hit.
10, well, 5.
Okay. So it falls to the ground unconscious, lying there motionless. That was a good hit. Knocks it right off its feet. But just lying there as a wolf, its wounds very slowly begin to start to knit and start to close.
Where are those silver bolts? Somebody stab it with those silver.
Drez,
Thanks.
if that's your turn, Mesker, it's Drez's turn after you.
Stab
Let me
it.
know if you're done.
I'm done.
Stab it with silver.
Drez, you're up.
I've got him.
And if you're attacking him, it's with... Oh, what a time to roll a 20! Roll me some damage. This is going to be with extreme prejudice here.
9 plus 14, 23.
Yeah, so as your moon-touched rapier plunges into the thick hide of this werewolf, just as before that hot knife through butter, those wounds that were closing, that were re-knitting, coming back together, actually sort of sag and fall open again. And then with a great shuddering heave, the werewolf takes its last breath. And then in a few moments, right after this happens, and you're pulling your rapier out, the fur starts to fall off the body of this werewolf, like just sort of just falling off of it. The complexion of the wolf starts to change. It had this ruddy sort of brown. It starts to become more pale, happening kind of right in front of your eyes. And then all of a sudden the body starts to contort, and you can hear bones cracking and breaking as it sort of collapses into itself, reforming into the body of a young man.
Arturi.
Lying before you. No, you do not recognize this man. None of you recognize this person. And there is a large bite mark under his arm, where his like the flank of his chest would be, and it's raw and bloody. And all of his other wounds have disappeared.
Well, that was fun. Drezek looks around at the group to make sure everybody's okay and that nobody's needing immediate help, and realizes that they don't, and says, maybe next time we kill the werewolves and vampires that we meet.
I mean, some of them we had no proof. We cannot just go around killing people because we suspect they're werewolves. This is an artery.
This time.
Mesker's just going to stare down and go, kind of look at the blood on his shoulders and go, we might have a problem here.
Did it bite you?
Twice.
God damn it.
Yeah, we have a problem. What's the book say about curing werewolf wounds?
I'll fish in my pocket again to the manuscript here.
She literally has the little manuscript printed out, by the way, and it tucks into her field
Shut
notebook.
up, I need it.
Well done.
A spell of removal.
Iris is trying to talk, but she's not coming through on the mic. She has a spell to use.
Ah, there we go.
Maybe.
There's a spell of removal that can do it. Otherwise, we could just, stab you with silver and just until we find
That would cure the problem. What's your spell, Iris? Oh, her mic is wanting to come through. I hear something coming through, but it just sounds like bumping. Yeah, I don't hear anything, Iris. Now, if you take your headset off, like disconnect from your PC.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I hear you.
So I'm going through the laptop now, so who knows what kind of background noise you guys are gonna get. I don't know if it'll work. I have a spell that like removes. I clicked off of it. Lesser Restoration. You touch a creature and either end one disease or a condition. Oh no, wait! It lists out the conditions. Never mind. Werewolf is not one of them.
That's just for like poisoning and stuff, right?
Yeah, blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned.
Maybe there's somebody in this town that knows how to do this. Ask Irina if she's got any ideas. Do you know how to cure somebody from a werewolf bite?
They say that it is a curse of lycanthropy, and not everyone who's bitten becomes infected. How do you feel? She says to Mesker, genuinely concerned.
Like I got bit.
Do you feel faint or weak or like lightheaded?
No.
And then she just kind of shakes her head and shrugs her shoulders, like doesn't know what else to say. Maybe you're fine. Maybe you're fine.
Would a werewolf be a fiend?
No.
Or an aberration?
No.
And I'm assuming it's not undead. Damn. Okay.
There is a spell that does cure it.
I mean, and if I'm metagaming and stepping out of the thing, that I rule-wise, player characters can be cursed and continue to play.
Yes.
Absolutely. What spell is it?
It's there's a higher level spell. You don't have access to it yet.
Oh.
If you Google it, you'll find it for sure.
I don't want to like metagame in Google, but
yeah, like
yeah,
as you level up, level up and look at your prayer book and look at what you have access to, you may encounter that there is a spell at a higher level that would cure lycanthropy, but that's not something that you have access to right now. If he's even infected, he rolled a con save. I don't know what his DCs are. Well, I mean, I do.
I mean, I don't want to metagame any more than I've already metagamed, but I will say that I rolled 2 con saves and you said nothing, and then when Drez rolled a con save, you said nothing happened.
No, I said he feels great. Because he rolled a 20.
We have a problem.
Yeah, one of your con saves was low enough to be worrisome. Sleep with one eye open. Let us know if you're feeling evil. Getting some bloodthirst. Feel like howling at the moon.
So
that is between me and the DM, because that's an alignment discussion.
Are werewolves evil?
Not necessarily, but again, depends.
I was going to say, can I cast to detect good and evil on them like once a day and just kind of check how the situation is progressing?
It's like a thermometer. Just a second, Mesker. It's time for your daily alignment reading.
It's kind of like the thrall, isn't it? Like the vampire dude was enthralled but fought it.
I mean, your manuscript has the answers you're seeking in terms of how people react to lycanthropy.
Well, I read it. Yeah, and that's what it says. You can either fight it or you can give into it. So,
are you guys gonna fight it?
The silence is not reassuring.
I'm sorry. Was somebody talking to me? I wasn't listening.
God damn it.
Iris wants to know if you're gonna fight it. Whatever it is.
Well, I don't know if I have it yet.
It's true. You may not.
Well, Drez also got attacked, so like.
No, I got attacked by a.
He got a 20.
And I got attacked by a wolf, not a.
No.
Oh, that's right.
No, you got bit by the werewolf.
You did get bit by the werewolf because you rolled a nat 20 on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that is what I have prepared for you guys tonight. You finish the combat. You can take a short rest if you'd like on the road.
Jesus,
here.
guys, I'm fine. Oh!
You're probably about 20 to 30 minutes from Vallaki at this point, and when we resume on our next session, we will pick up here. But yeah, good job.
Awesome.
How's everyone's health? Do you need me to heal you at all?
Not if we're going to.
But we can take a short rest and then deal with it, don't you think? because
Yeah, I
you've
mean that's fine. If you guys are healed enough, we're gonna use your hit dice. I just
I'm gonna use 2 of mine. Yeah.
I do have some like lower level spell slots that I could heal you with if needed. While we're taking the rest, Cora is gonna use minor illusion, and there's gonna be little wolves running around.
Aw.
So sometimes short rest does not bring up the roll button.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems to be a bit hokey.
it's really fickle.
So try this. Try to add a die and see if it comes up. Because when I have just one die selected, it doesn't come up. But if I select 2, it comes up, but it only rolls 1.
Well, currently I had 3 selected, and nothing came.
Weird.
So that combat was designed to be a brutal encounter. You guys
It
did
was.
fairly well, I have to say.
Drez was also pretty low.
I have to say
I
that
mean,
there
No,
was
that
no, I never got low. I was 30 out of 41.
Oh,
yeah,
That-
Irina and
Okay.
Mesker and Cora
17.
came the closest.
yeah.
that 17 points of healing for 6 people is a lot of heals.
So
Yeah.
so what came in clutch was that, and there was a series of misses that occurred
Yeah.
towards the end of the battle where the werewolf was just going ham on Mesker, and yeah, that was touch and go.
Hey, DM.
I really was thinking that those wolves might get me down before I had a turn to go at the beginning of that combat. Because you took like 11 points, and then they had another turn before I got to go, and I thought like, oh, they're gonna hit again, and I'm gonna be at like very low or nothing. But they missed.
That's what I want you to feel like. I want you to feel like, oh fuck.
Well, I will tell you that I muted myself and told Monk if I die, I'm making the most chaotic character ever, and it's not going to be a healer. So, y'all are warned.
I mean, surprise just sucks.
It does, and I thought I took alert on this one too. I took alert on my other in the other campaign. So like I didn't get surprised for this one, so I had a roll, but
Did you see
apparently
that?
I did.
Yep.
Apparently I did not take it in this campaign, which
The more I see people
sucks.
take alert, the more I'm like, I think that's gonna be my bread and butter. I fucking
Seriously,
love that
it
feat.
is the best.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's always my third feat.
Does
Is
it save
it?
you from becoming a
Yeah,
werewolf?
it's super useful.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's for the initiative as well,
Well, yeah,
right?
like,
The
fact that you
avoidance
have
of surprise is huge. That's a lifesaver. But getting a bonus on initiative, I mean, that can change the tide of a battle right there. Just getting first attack, especially as a assassin rogue, because if you attack before your enemy has made an action, it's a sneak attack. It's with advantage, I should say. So it's sneak attack. So yeah, that's always my third feat.
I'll be honest, I think my lucky one was a bit of a wasted feat. It hasn't actually been useful at all.
It's going to be though.
It
was
would have been
useful.
had I
Like,
not
it
had I
was
not followed a
useful.
1 with a 3.
It was useful
Yeah, but
last
that's the
session.
thing.
I used it, didn't I?
Yeah, you've used it
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
I think, and you re-rolled and you got a success. Yep.
Just for the price of a feat, though, like I'm not sure that was worth it. But
I don't know.
We'll
it's
see.
like Featherfall, right? Like you might use Featherfall once in a whole campaign, but that could be what saves the fucking campaign. You know?
Mhm.
It's just one of those things that it's very difficult to measure the success of something that you can take for granted for, right? Where you don't know how bad it could be because you're able to avoid those results sometimes.
fair enough. So right now, how far from Vallaki are we?
You're
20
probably
minutes.
about 20 minutes on the road.
Okay. I was just
Almost
looking at
made
my
it.
spell slots and gauging like how I feel about how this day is going.
What I'll say about Vallaki is that you will, yeah. What I would recommend as a DM to a player, not metagaming here, but as a DM to a player, from what I've picked up on Vallaki, the advice that I would want as a player is pay attention to anything that has to do with time. And I would be, if you're making notes and you're thinking about in your back of your head as you're writing down notes and writing things down, if I'm ever mentioning anything about this is going to happen on this day or this is going to happen on that day, I would start thinking about timing. And like, for example, Arabelle's 10th name day is in 2 days time. Like, okay, that would be one thing to write down and think about a timeline of what things could look like in the next like 6 days. And that's all I'll say on that.
I guess we'll find out.